Hi, this is Bruce from Fedhouse Productions and Fedhouse Repair. Today we're going to be taking apart an HP Pavilion Dv9000 all the way down to the motherboard. All you're going to need today is either a number 1 or a number 0 Phillips head screwdriver. And just like the other videos, what we're going to want to do is flip your machine upside down with the battery facing away from you. We'll go ahead and eject the battery. And we're going to start with the case covers on the bottom. Start first with the secondary hard drive bay. Now we're going to move on to the memory and the Wi-Fi card and the primary hard drive bay. Now if you have a hard drive in this, really easy to take out. Usually it'll be in its own little caddy with a little tab. Just pull that straight up and lift it out. Alright, now while we're taking the components out, let's switch over to the optical drive. Be one single screw, the little optical drive symbol next to it. And you're going to want to put a thumb into between the case and the optical drive and just slide it straight out. Alright, good. Now, since we're still removing components, we can go ahead and do the Wi-Fi card next. Just put your Phillips head screwdriver underneath the Wi-Fi cables and lift straight up. They should come right out. Now the Wi-Fi card will be held on by 2 long silver screws. Alright, good. And the Wi-Fi card should want to come out by itself. Just lift that straight out. Now we're going to go across the top edge and take out all the black screws along the top edge. Should be one in the upper left hand corner, followed by 2 right next to it, and then 3 more as we go down the line. Alright, good. Now we're going to remove the 6 small silver screws that were underneath the battery. And if they don't want to come out right away, that's fine. Sometimes they get stuck on the plastic a little bit. They'll come out when we pull the quick play panel off in a second. Alright, now if you look to the lower right of the battery, there'll be another black screw. And then go straight to the left of that, and there'll be right in the center, there'll be one with a keyboard symbol next to it. And from there, we'll just start taking out all the screws that have a hole next to it. All the black screws that are on the outside. And don't forget about the 2 that are in between the secondary hard drive bay and the memory bay. Two more down in the lower right hand corner. Good. Alright, now the only screws we have left are going to be 1 single screw underneath the primary hard drive bay, and then 3 small silver screws underneath the secondary hard drive bay. Alright, good. Now everything off the back is taken apart. Let's flip the machine over. Open her up. And now what you're going to want to do is just put a fingernail underneath the quick play panel on both sides. Lift it straight up, be very gentle, just rock it backwards, and there'll be a small ribbon cable that you have to detach underneath there. Now we're going to remove 3 silver screws connecting the keyboard. Okay, good. Now to remove the keyboard, just lift it up, 45-degree angle, slide it out, and there'll be 2 slide connectors underneath. You just slide them towards the LCD, and the ribbon cable should pop right out. Good. Alright, next, what we're going to want to do is we're going to remove all the screws on the palm rest. So we'll start up here with 2 silver screws. And then in the middle we got 5 black screws. And then up at the top we'll have 2 silver screws that connect the speaker bar. Alright, good. Now that those are out, let's start taking up our ribbon cables off. We'll start with the power cable, move to the quick play panel, and these can just be put a little leverage underneath them and just gently lift them out. They're very delicate cables, so you want to use a little bit of caution. Right now, feel free and just lift up any tape that you see. That's just holding them down for convenience. And we can go right ahead and remove the one next to the touchpad. That's your webcam. And start feeding these back towards the LCD. Get them nice and loose. Alright, good. Now we can take off the speaker bar. And then we also have to disconnect the LCD cable and the microphone cable. And now from here we can take off the LCD, which will be, we'll start with the right hand side as just 1 silver screw. And then on the left hand side there'll be 1 silver screw and 2 black screws. Now just remember that when you take off when you start unscrewing the last black screw, the LCD is going to want to come apart. So always have an extra hand on the LCD while you're taking it apart. You can go ahead and lift that straight out, set it off to the side. Alright, good. Now, the very last thing before we can take this palm rest off, we're just going to use one last slide connector for the power button. And then we can lift up the entire palm rest. Good. Now that that's out, set that off to the side. And we'll do the back bezel next. This will be up in the upper left-hand corner. Just 1 single black screw. And what you're going to want to do is kind of rock it back, and sometimes you have to slide it to the left a little bit because you don't want to break this little connector on the side. That'll just make it a pain for it to get back together the way it's supposed to. Alright, now we're almost there. Next thing you're going to want to do, if you haven't done it already, is remove your remote out of the remote caddy. And we can start down here and remove the 4 screws connecting the remote caddy. And then you're just going to want to lift it up about 30 degrees, kind of wiggle it to the right to get it out. Now going up from there will be the optical drive connector. Just take 1 screw out of there. You're going to want to lift it up and just rock it counterclockwise. Now on the bottom here we have 2 more silver screws. We'll just remove the rest of the screws right now. And we also have 3 in the upper left connecting the heatsink to the back casing. Alright, now before we can lift this out, there's 2 small connectors we have to do here. This model that I'm working on has a Bluetooth on it. So we'll remove the Bluetooth, just kind of set that off to the side. And also in the bottom left there's a Wi-Fi for the Wi-Fi switch. Just open up that little garage door connector. And now what you're going to want to do to get the motherboard out is put your finger on the battery casing and lift it up with your thumb. And then while it's up about 30 degrees, go right ahead and remove. There should be 2 cables underneath here. It'd be the power and the USB. And then stick a finger under here and remove the audio panel. Alright, good. Now we are down to the motherboard. To remove the heatsink, let's go right ahead and remove the 3 black screws on the right hand side. You have to do that first and disconnect your fan cable. That should lift right out. And then we have 2 silver screws for the second part of the heatsink. Alright, very good. And that is your Dv9000 down to the motherboard. Thanks, and don't forget to check out our website. It's fedhouserepair.com. If you have any questions, feel free and give us a call or email us. The number should be on the video. Thank you, and have a great day.